The first 4 rounds at NRG Stadium wreaked havoc. Catastrophic carnage defeated the biggest and brightest, but a 2-time world champion finally figured out how to fly in his brand new whip, riding the ragged edge and gaining ground on the most dominant driver of the season. Tonight, the track has been transformed. Will the tide turn in Texas? This is round 5. This is Houston. This is Monster Jam. Nice air. And he saves it. There is your wow factor. Big air out of the box. Awesome move, look at that. Welcome once again to Houston, Texas. This is the 3rd weekend in a row from the Lone Star State, and this is round 5 of 26 of the 2021 Monster Jam season. Hello everyone, I'm Scott Jordan alongside Colt Stevens, and besides the track conditions we've not stopped discussing in the first 4 rounds, we've also wondered who was going to step up and challenge Tom Meents. Well, Colt, Ryan Anderson answered that call and won the event championship in round 4. So the question now is, does he finally have Bkt Dragonoid figured out?
Ryan was struggling in the first few rounds with the new truck, but he seemed to have it dialed in. He told me how much fun he's having driving this Bkt Dragonoid.
Now let's take a look at the driver lineup tonight. And Colt, all 12 of these drivers have come out to make a statement tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom Meents has definitely been on top here in Texas, but Menard is showing he's here to play.
The track from the previous 4 rounds definitely had a major impact over the first 2 weekends. And for more on that, let's send it down to Leslie Mears.
It's Chicago-style racing this weekend for round 5, and that means our drivers have 2 more corners that they have to master. So that, paired with this tacky Houston track, Colt, what do our guys and gals have to do to master it?
Not only do the guys have 2 extra corners, there's also 3 jumps in this track, and where the drivers are going to have to make a decision is you want the biggest and craziest jump to be your start and finish. You want the second hit to be nice and consistent and smooth so that you can get in the corner, get around it real fast, and let it all hang out across that finish line.
And while it seems like there's a lot more wide open spaces, there's exactly the same number of ramp faces that we had for rounds 1 through 4. So freestyle is going to be just as spectacular.
Thank you, Leslie. Let's review the Monster Jam Steel Titans 2 event format for round 5 here in Houston. Our drivers will compete in 3 competitions. Monster Energy Racing, in which Menard is riding a hot streak. The Great Clip Skills Challenge, Ryan Anderson coming off a big win in that one. And Bkt Monster Jam Freestyle, and Team Scream is really starting to own that competition. Now 12 points will be awarded to the winner of each competition, with a total of 36 points on the line. And the driver with the most points at the end of the night will be crowned the overall event champion. Let's take a look at tonight's racing bracket for Monster Energy Racing. Round 1 is set. Overboard against Rage, Bkt Fire up against Avenger, Zombie going at it with Gravedigger, Monster Energy, and Scooby-Doo. And then in round 2 already with those buys based on last week's performance are Black Pearl, Megalodon, Bkt Dragonoid, and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Colt, looking at the bracket, which one of those round 1 matchups is the Colt Stevens premier matchup?
Scott, I'm really liking this 3rd matchup here. Kristen Anderson versus Vari. We saw them going head-to-head last week, and Kristen came out with a lot of damage. They're both from the arenas, pushing themselves here on this track, so I'm excited to see that matchup right there.
We are ready to rock round 5 in Houston with Monster Energy Racing. Our first matchup of the night is set. It's Jamie Garner in Overboard, Corey Rummel in Rage, a battle of 2 strong independents, and they are coming to the line. And we are green. 2 of the top independents in the sport, head-to-head. And we are locked halfway through. Corey Rummel goes wide. He's got an acceleration to the finish line. And there is the difference. Corey Rummel around that last turn just hit the throttle and went off.
Corey was definitely holding it wide open around the outside.
Up next in the left lane, 12-time World Finals champion Tom Meents and Bkt Fire. In the right lane, Mr. Excitement, 2-time World Finals champion Jim Kohler in Avenger. These two have been around, Colt, for what seems like forever.
Two of the old school guys going head-to-head first round.
Off the race ramp, Jim Kohler getting a lot of air.
Two different styles here.
And he goes tight there. Kohler with a slight advantage here. Tom Meents whipping it back around the race ramp for the finish.
Oh man, it looks like Jim might have got him.
Photo finish there. We're going to take a look at the replay. That one from start to finish, a nail biter. Here they come. And you're right, Jim Kohler.
Wow, unexpected upset there.
Our next pair in round one from Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger. And on the other side of the track, in that left lane, Bari Musauer and Zombie. These two met last round, and Zombie took the win. So Kristen Anderson trying to get one back here. They hit the first turn. Bari Musauer, a lot more stadium experience than Kristen Anderson. It's showing right now on this brand new Chicago-style track. Kristen Anderson trying to get it into gear. Bari Musauer off the final race ramp. And he gets a big win over Gravedigger. Before our next matchup, the final one in round one, let's head on down to Leslie Mears.
Guys, Lindsay Reed feels like she's got an edge in racing from her 4 years competing in arenas, and she showed that by whipping it around the track with ease in practice. When I asked her about facing LeDuc in round one, she said she beat him one day ago in practice, and she can do it right here.
Thank you, Leslie. Two world champions going at it. If you're going to beat Todd LeDuc, you're going to do it in this stadium where he has not had a lot of success, especially in that right lane.
Todd choosing to square it up.
And they are even again. Lindsay Reed hit the brakes at a bad bounce. Todd LeDuc going to try to make her pay. He goes tight on the race ramp, and she goes sideways.
Oh, no!
Dynamite save for Lindsay Reed. Oh, she just lost control on that second half of the save, but Todd LeDuc gets the win, but Lindsay Reed put up a heck of a fight.
She's going to have to worry a little bit about a little bit of damage. She's got two more events to go, so she's pushing a little hard there. Could have some front-end damage with that hard landing.
Round one is complete, so let's take a look at the bracket for round two. Menard in the Black Pearl up against Rage Megalodon, against Avenger, Bakugan, Dragonoid, Zombie, Grey Clips, Mohawk Warrior, and Monster Energy. So four trucks will now enter the bracket for the first time, including Menard, who gets the Black Pearl ready for round two. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Monster Jam. Monster Jam is brought to you by Spin Master. Create your own epic Monster Jam stunts with official Monster Jam toys. Real toys, real action, Monster Jam. We are in the midst of our fifth round of the 2021 season here in Houston, and the second round of Monster Energy Racing is about to start. Our first round two matchup is Menard in the Black Pearl. He is riding a 7-race winning streak and has won the last two racing competitions here. He is going up against Corey Rummel, who advanced in round one by beating Jamie Garner, Cole's teammate with Overboard Motorsports. Menard gets off to a red-hot start. Corey Rummel feeling it around that turn. Cole with the lead as we go to the second half. And look at Corey Rummel putting it on, and I think he got him. Menard halfway through had it. Corey Rummel just got into gear and nailed it.
That's what I was talking about earlier. That second ramp that Cole hit was way huge, shooting him way outside on that corner. And that's where Corey was able to take advantage and catch back up and actually take the win away from Cole.
In the right lane is 5-time World Finals champion Adam Anderson and Megalodon. In the left lane, 2-time World Finals champion Jim Kohler and Avenger with a surprise win over Tom Meents in round one. Adam Anderson has won the first two racing competitions here, and Menard taking the last two. So Adam, a lot to prove here today.
Jim chooses to switch lanes. He's actually in the other lane now compared to where he was in round one.
Adam Anderson slowing down around the turn. Jim Kohler trying to play catch up. Adam Anderson a slight lead here in Megalodon. And Adam Anderson getting the win.
Adam has got racing figured out. Nice pass there. Adam has the win. Smooth race by both guys. Adam Anderson was just faster.
First meeting of 2021 Stadium Championship Series for our next two competitors. It is two-time World Finals champion Ryan Anderson in Bakugan Dragonoid, and then Bari Musauer in Zombie. Bari beat Kristen Anderson in round one, now has a tough matchup against Ryan Anderson here in round two.
Ryan is very familiar with this style track. He's raced on this track quite a bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if he has a super fast time.
Both competitors get great starts. Here goes the race ramp. Ryan Anderson, a slight advantage. Bari getting up on two wheels. That's going to cost him big time. And Ryan Anderson in Bakugan Dragonoid gets the win. Bari just couldn't get a hang of the truck as we see Ryan now heading over the finish line.
Yeah, Bari making those mistakes just handed the win over to Ryan.
Our final second round matchup, Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior against two-time World Finals champion Tyler LeDuc and Monster Energy. LeDuc gets in by beating Lindsey Reed in round one. These two, surprisingly, their first matchup of 2021. But Bryce Kenny has been the probably, other than Tom Mintz, the most consistent driver so far this season.
This is definitely my favorite matchup of round two. Excited to see these two go head-to-head.
Bryce Kenny, a great jump off the ramp. Tyler LeDuc gains some ground. Here we go. Final turn coming up. Todd hits the brakes. Bryce goes a little sideways, and another exciting finish here in round two.
Well, Todd made an adjustment there. He saw he was a little behind, but then toe-nailed it at the last to get ahead of Bryce. Great job by Todd LeDuc.
So let's now take a look at the semifinal bracket. Is Corey Rummel the surprise of the night in Rage? He will go up against Adam Anderson in Megalodon. And then down on the other side of the bracket, it is Ryan Anderson in Bakugan Dragonoid against Todd LeDuc in Monster Energy. 4 World Championships between the two of those competitors. For more information on the semifinals, Leslie, you're down on the track. A lot going on so far.
Yeah, Corey Rummel is excited to be in that left lane. He said that the jump in the right lane is not handling very well at all. So he's glad to have that as his second jump, and he can finish in that left lane where he feels strongest.
Here we go with the start of our semifinal round. Corey Rummel, as Leslie said, going over to that left lane. Adam Anderson in the right lane. Corey coming into tonight's racing bracket just 1-6 in his career at NRG. He's got 2 big wins already. A third puts him in the finals. What a great start to the night that would be for Corey Rummel. Adam Anderson gets the better start, but this is where Corey starts picking up speed. He doesn't get all 4 tires on the race ramp. Let's see if that will cost him. He is now feeling it. Final race ramp for both competitors.
Wow.
And another dynamite finish. What a racing bracket we've seen so far. Here we go, take another look. And it is Rage getting the win, 18.856.
Wow.
Unbelievable for Corey Rummel. He starts feeling it in that left lane, getting right here in front of us. That's where he starts hitting the throttle and just guns it. Our last semifinal matchup, it's two-time World Finals champion Todd LeDuc in Monster Energy against two-time World Finals champion Ryan Anderson in Bakugan Dragonoid. Ryan Anderson, Todd LeDuc, our final matchup. And Ryan getting up on 2 wheels. Here comes Todd LeDuc.
Wow, making adjustments on the fly, Ryan.
Again, 2 wheels, the third time for Ryan Anderson. And Todd LeDuc gets the win. What the heck happened to Bakugan Dragonoid?
He was all over the place, making changes, bouncing from one end of the track to the other. What amazes me is how fast he was making all those mistakes, but it just wasn't quite fast enough to get ahead of Todd.
So our finals are set. It's going to be Corey Rummel in Rage up against Todd LeDuc in Monster Energy. Who you got in the final round?
Man, that's a hard one to call right there. 2 different driving styles. Rage seems to be on rails, and he's holding it wide open through the corners, and I think that might be the advantage.
The fastest 2 are coming to the line in the Rocket City. The Monster Energy Racing Finals are next. This is Monster Jam, and this is NRG Stadium, and it's time for the Monster Energy Racing Finals. Corey Rummel going back to the left lane where he's been dominant so far in Monster Energy Racing, and he will go up against Todd the Duke in the right lane in Monster Energy. This is going to be an exciting matchup. We came in here wondering what this new track was going to look like, and so far it has not disappointed.
This has been some great racing, Scott.
Todd the Duke gets the jump over Rage, but this is where Corey Rummel starts turning it on. And he's got a slight advantage. Here we go, heading into the final turn.
Corey's got it!
Corey Rummel is going to win Monster Energy Racing. What a night so far for Corey Rummel.
Wow! This has turned into the independent tour. We have now had Corey stepping up and winning this round. How awesome is that?
Unbelievable ride for Corey Rummel from that left lane. He's got a freestyle win in round 2. Now he adds a racing win in round 5. Exciting start so far for Team Scream. Let's go down to the track. Leslie standing by with our racing winner, Corey Rummel.
Well, Corey, you never missed a beat, and you were so smooth. So what's it feel like to beat a field like this and take the racing win for the weekend?
Oh, this feels amazing. You know, my biggest trick, never lift. I've gotten really good at driving for all these years and being able to drift around the turns and never lift, and I can see out the corner. And it worked out for me today, man. Bring on Chicago-style racing. I love it.
Let's take a look at the overall event leaderboard after one competition. Corey Rummel gets the win, 12 points. Todd LeDuc, 11. Adam Anderson with 10. Ryan Anderson with 9. And Bryce Kenny with 8. Rounding out your BKT top 5. After an incredible racing competition, it was time for our second event of the night, the Great Clip Skills Challenge. Each driver had the option to attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels or a donut. Competitors attempted a variety of moves and combinations and were judged based on creativity, skill, and execution. 12 points were on the line towards tonight's overall event championship. Let's take a quick look back at our top competitors. Bryce Kenny in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior took a nose wheelie moonwalk combo as well as a long stoppy nose wheelie combo. He finished in 3rd.
He has got this move figured out.
Adam Anderson in Megalodon gets a slap wheelie and a thread the needle bicycle, propelling him to 2nd.
Full control. He's going to go right between. Oh, wow.
But after all the dust settled, it was Ryan Anderson in Bakugan Dragonoid once again winning with a bicycle sidewall. Incredible maneuver for a 2-time World Finals champion. After 2 competitions, here is how the overall point standings are taking shape. Ryan Anderson and Adam Anderson both tied at the top at 21 points. Corey Rummel with a big racing win tonight. He has 20. Bryce Kenny with 18 and Todd LeDuc with 16, rounding out the BKT top 5. After his big win earlier tonight, Leslie Mears caught up with our Great Clip Skills Challenge winner.
Ryan, you do it once again. You know, it seemed like the obstacles weren't quite set up and conducive to what you're used to, but you still made it work.
Yeah, no doubt. This track change, it puts me back to my roots, honestly, but I'm kind of rusty at it. So the racing lane is honestly probably one of the most controlled bicycle ramps, but I wasn't quite ready for it, honestly. Everything I've been doing it off of really throws me up, and I've got to catch it. Well, this didn't do that for me, so I was kind of thrown off. And then when I went for the sidewall donut, I went on the opposite side that I normally go. If you pay attention, the majority of the time, I want to go right side down, but this time I went left side down, and it honestly scared me. I thought I was going to go over. I thought I went too far. I didn't tickle the rear steer during the cyclone like I normally do to try to keep it going, but it all worked out still.
Well, usually for Ryan, too far is just right, so it worked out for him today.
2 down and 1 to go, and we will get you ready for Bkt Freestyle with our official halftime report. It's next on Monster Jam. Everyone at Monster Jam is proud to be partners with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Become a partner in hope and receive a custom St. Jude and Monster Jam We Won't Stop t-shirt. Text Monster Jam to 785-833 or visit stjude.org/Monster Jam to learn more. 2 exciting competitions into round 5 with 1 more to go. Welcome back to NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. I'm Scott Jordan alongside Monster Jam driver and our show analyst Cole Stevens. And Cole, Corey Rummel starts off the night by winning racing. Now there's only 4 independent drivers in our field of 12, and so far this season they've combined to win 5 competitions. That's a great number for our independent drivers.
You're exactly right, Scott. The independents are here to play. This has been the independents year so far, it seems like. Winning a couple of events, they are proving that they're here to play with the big dogs. It doesn't matter how many champions we have out there on the track. These independents are here to show they deserve to be in Houston and on this tour.
Ryan Anderson back at the top of the BKT leaderboard. Adam Anderson right there with him, tied with 21. And Adam fell off a little bit the last couple rounds, so he is now back. But Corey Rummel right there, 20 points, just 1 point behind both Anderson brothers. So who walks out of here, Ryan, Adam, or will Corey Rummel rise to the occasion and win the event championship?
Well, you know, Scott, Corey is coming off already having a freestyle win here in Houston, but you cannot leave out the Andersons. If you leave any door open, they're going to take advantage. So Corey has some big shoes to fill here in freestyle, but he's definitely somebody that can get it done.
For more on one of our event leaders, it's time for our halftime UNOH pit report, and for that, we head downstairs to Leslie Mears.
So Ryan, for you, you've got yourself in a nice position to win freestyle. With the track change, how does that play into your hand and your style of driving?
Really, this track is kind of more what we're used to. This is what we used to run 100 years ago, I say, just jokingly, but this was more of a standard Monster Jam track from back in the day. I like this track. It gives me a little bit more variety, I feel like, where each pod on either side of the track, it gives me room to run, but a lot of variety, a lot of combination possibilities. I like to jump from one side to the other. My dad was famous for trying to jump over the entire floor. I'm not crazy enough to do that yet, but there's still a ton of variety here that we haven't had on the other track. There's still good varieties on that one, but this is just a whole nother world, and I'm excited about it. I know I'm ready for this track, and I'm doing really well in the points at the moment. This might be a good night for me. I don't know yet until it happens, but the Dragonoid might not look as good when I'm done with it.
Guys.
Thank you, Leslie. Now back in round 3, we gave you a sneak peek behind the curtain and showed you a little bit of what Great Clips Mohawk Warriors Bryce Kenny is like off the track. This round, we go behind the scenes to see how Monster Jam tracks are built and the crews that make it happen on this week's Inside Monster Jam.
We're always trying to come up with a new great idea, reinvent the track, reinvent something. You can take a truck out on a flat floor and do a donut with it, and that's pretty cool, but other than that, if you don't have a track, they have nothing to jump. They have nothing to do their stoppies, their wheelies, their moonwalks.
We have about 22 guys on our crew that we brought in to build the whole track.
We can usually build a stadium track in about 12 hours. We'll start on Thursday night, work all night into Friday, run practice, then we go sleep, we come back, we work the show. Our tracks are designed and built within an inch. The track heights are built with lasers. We know the exact height of the pods. All of our jump faces are measured to the inch. So each place that we go, Feld actually owns the dirt that we use. We rent dump trucks in each city that we go to haul our dirt for us in and out. When we go to a natural grass field, we've only got 72 hours to put the track together and get it taken out, otherwise the grass will die. So we have to have a flooring crew come in and take care of the flooring process to protect the field. Then we have a dirt crew that comes in and obviously puts the dirt in, builds the track.
We build obstacles like, let's say, the backflip. We use containers now, we use barriers, we can build them out of dirt.
We've got an 8-pack. We've got them up on a pad so they're 4 foot off the ground. And then on the other side over here, this obstacle used to be a tree. We've put the log in on a pad so the monster trucks hit it and it pops them in the air. It went from a log to a real thick plastic pipe that doesn't break. So it evolves year in and year out with the different types of obstacles that we do. The teardown process when we're finished, it's basically building the track in reverse. We take the obstacles out, and then obviously on the way out, the dirt crew takes the dirt out and the flooring guys come in. We return the venues and the stadiums back to their original state. You'll never even know we were here. All the dirt will be gone, scraped up, and we're completely out of here in about 4 hours. We sweep the grass and stand it back up, and it looks like we were never there.
We can take a 12,000-pound, 1,500 horsepower monster truck and safely send it into a backflip, close to 25, 30 feet in the air, land on all 4 tires. That's what the fans come to see, and that's what we like to provide for them.
Still to come, it's the final competition of the night. It's the pinnacle of Monster Jam. It's Bkt Freestyle, and it's next. Welcome back to round 5 of Monster Jam action in Houston, Texas. Adam and Ryan Anderson currently sitting atop the leaderboard. And Cole, we have seen these trucks go through racing and the skills challenge on this new track, but now it's time to let them fly. What do you expect to see?
Man, I really like this track out here for freestyle. Plenty of room to move around, get some huge air, what the fans want to see, and definitely have some wow factor opportunities out there. So super excited to see freestyle.
The moment we've been waiting for is finally here. It's the pinnacle. It's the main event. It's time for Bkt Monster Jam Freestyle. Each driver has 2 minutes to put together a spectacular freestyle performance. Our drivers will be judged by fans in attendance based on creativity, momentum, the use of all obstacles on the track, and their ability to fill the entire clock. To qualify for a score, drivers must complete the first 30 seconds of their run. These superstars will have their endurance pushed to its limit as they defy gravity in these 12,000-pound Steel Titans. With the overall event championship on the line, expect to see big air, backflips, technical moves, dynamic saves, and those incredible wow moments that have made Monster Jam a worldwide phenomenon. This is Bkt Freestyle. Our first competitor here is Jamie Garner. He has a freestyle average of 8.783 this season. That is currently 5th on the tour. And here he comes. He's going to hit that big ramp. And there's some big air for Jamie Garner. Great bounce to land it. And Overboard is on a mission.
Announcing his presence early. Yeah, buddy.
Right through the 2 ramps. That was pretty cool. We saw Adam Anderson thread the needle earlier. Jamie Garner just went over the needle.
Oh, yeah.
This about clears the pod. There's a slap wheelie save. Loving that.
Jamie's just out there going big after big.
He is
Hard
hitting
bounce on the front there. What do we got here? He's going to do a little cross-up.
Huge jump for Jamie Garner. Incredible run so far. This, Colt, is how you start freestyle for the night.
He's got a lot of the other drivers sweating already. First guy out.
Squaring up to the ramp. Here he goes again.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he is landing these things perfectly.
He's definitely going to have his crew guys go through those corners before the next round. There's a lot of flatlands out here on this track that is going to be very hard on spindles.
Running out of time, so he hits a donut, and what a donut it was. Let's take a look at the original super glue glued to the action replay. Just hitting everything with incredible air.
Going huge from the beginning. You can see that truck all blown apart. That just shows how big Jamie was going.
And that's going to bring Zombies Bari Musauer out on the track. 10-year driver out of Cleveland, Ohio, now lives in Orlando, Florida. Look at that move.
Now that's a wheelie.
Big wheelie. Got a huge pop off the front 2 tires, brought it up and gets the wheelie. And Bari Colt has yet to attempt a backflip here in 2021. I'm hoping this is the 9 that we see Zombie fly through the sky.
Staying to the outside of the track a little bit. I want to see him move into the inside to some of that bigger stuff.
New Monster Jam is going to be in Bari's hometown of Orlando coming up soon. I asked Bari if he was looking ahead to that. He said, yeah, of course I'm looking ahead to it. You know, my family's there. I'm excited to be in my hometown, but I've got business to do here tonight, and that's what I'm going to do, and that's what he's about to do right here. Zombie lining up for the ramp on the pod, trying for a sky wheelie.
Oh, nice little combo. Setting it up for the front tires, run right into the backside of that pod, popping it up into another wheelie.
A step up, big air.
Oh!
And there's a bounce and nose wheelie save for Bari Musauer. Great save for Zombie.
Talking about it earlier, coming from arenas, he likes to jump a little bit nose high, and in that situation, it caused the rebound to come a little bit far. Luckily, Bari was able to gather it up before it went all the way over on him.
When you're an arena driver and you come into a stadium like this, whoa, look at that, he tried for the 8-pack.
Just not enough momentum. The truck hit the front. It actually picked the rear tires up off the ground, leaving no traction to actually get the rotation he was looking for. Unlucky break for Bari Masauer.
Here comes 5-time World Finals champion Adam Anderson in Megalodon. About to get interesting. He is tied atop the leaderboard with his brother Ryan, so 21 points apiece.
Slap wheelie, get it, ride it, buddy, ride it.
And he's got it, great extension of the truck. Step up, big air.
Down the backside.
And overran, and another wheelie coming off the backside. Cross thread up and down the pod, now swinging it around.
Step on, step off. That was cool.
Not a lot of air on that jump from Megalodon, but he is going to swing it back around and come for more. On the left side, race ramp actually going up on the pod. Sky wheelie attempt, back down on the step up.
Adam is being very cautious in the corners. He saw his sister roll over early, so now he's checking those corners, making sure he doesn't hike up and go over, just turning around. I like that cross up. We haven't seen anybody do that yet, hitting that step up from that direction. Adam's doing here, he's playing it very smart. He's not going out going crazy and rolling over early, but he's still out there trying to hit a little bit of everything.
The slow controlled wheelie to end the run as we take a look at the original Super Glue glued to the action replay for Adam Anderson.
Adam had some good moves here. Love the technical moves like this slap wheelie riding across the floor.
Let's take a listen now to the radio call on that one.
Up, 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 keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, drop it.
Adam Anderson, the smallest margin, now is in first place in freestyle, but no rest for the wicked, because here comes his brother Ryan Anderson, who has a great shot at the overall event championship. It would be back-to-back for Ryan Anderson if he pulls it off. Starts off clear, clean jump over the first pod, now swinging it around for the second pod. Reverse side of the step up, off the ramp, lands it great.
Ryan has got the momentum out of the box. Holy cow, going for it already. So Ryan's in there thinking he knows he's got to step it up more from his brother, but yet he has to be smart as well. He can easily lose this to Kohler Rummel, or even Todd could come up and get him as well.
Ryan Anderson hits the throttle, great jump, gets the nose down. Can he save this one? Yes, he can.
That was a ride.
Ryan Anderson has put together an incredible resume in Monster Jam 2 World Finals Championships, a Rookie of the Year, overall event champion at the first All-Star Challenge in 2019.
Really loving the speed that Ryan's bringing. You can just see he's going faster than most of the guys have so far this afternoon.
Also a Guinness World Record holder for the longest bicycle in a monster truck.
What's he going for up here? Driving around on top of the pod, hitting things from different angles.
30 seconds on the clock for Ryan Anderson, and here we go.
A backflip.
The Monster Energy backflip ramp for Bakugan Dragonoid. Anderson gets it up, he falls short, and he's got the save. No,
so close.
Let's get you to the backflip with the original Super Glue glued to the action replay. Some of that huge air from Ryan Anderson.
Backflip just lets out a little bit too soon and can't get the rotation that he needed.
With 12 of the best superstars in the world competing here tonight, not every driver will make it into our final BKT Top 5. Let's take a look back at some of our lower performing trucks from round 5 in Houston. Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger has been battling truck issues all season long here. She rolled the truck, did not get a score. Bryce Kenny as well. He rolled on the jammer. He did not finish or qualify. And in 10th, it was Corey Rummel, who had an awkward landing, damaged his front end, which prematurely ended his run. Lindsay Reed in Scooby-Doo hit a few sky wheelies, was consistent, but the Houston crowd did not reward her with a consistent score. And finally, Menard in the Black Pearl had an epic save, but couldn't land it, broke an axle, and did not elevate his score as well. With 8 competitors finished for the night, here is how our top 5 are currently situated here in Bkt Freestyle. Ryan Anderson holding that top spot. Adam Anderson right behind his brother. Jamie Garner and Overboard at 3rd. Barry Musauer Zombie in 4th. And Menard in the Black Pearl rounding out the Bkt Freestyle top 5. We've seen some show-stealing saves from this superstar lineup already, but back in round 2, Kristen Anderson threw one down in Gravedigger that had everyone in Houston on their feet.
Let's take a ride on the wild side with this week's Monster Energy Action of the Week.
All right, Kristen Anderson, here's a great look in round 2. Comes in, hits the landing, bounces it off, and then just a dynamite save here for her.
You can see as Kristen comes into this ramp, this first jump, she grabs a brake just a little bit too early, noses it over, and it's hard to wrangle that thing back in and just catches the next jammer, but then she drives it out right like she's supposed to.
That's a Gravedigger save for a Gravedigger driver, one of the best in the business right there. That's why Kristen Anderson has the Monster Energy Action of the Week. We are just moments away from crowning our event champion. The freestyle finale is coming up, so stay tuned. Great Clips, the official hair salon of Monster Jam. You can feel good about getting a great haircut with their Great Care promise. Check out the details at greatclips.com and check in online today. So let's take a look now at the overall event leaderboard coming into freestyle. It was Ryan Anderson and Adam Anderson tied atop the leaderboard with 21 apiece. Then Corey Rummel had 20, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior with 18, and then Monster Energy's Todd LeDuc with 16. Here comes two-time World Finals champion Todd LeDuc. Monster Energy came into this competition in the Bkt overall top 5, sitting at 5th place.
There he goes. Attaboy, Todd. That's what I'm looking for. Pick it up.
Todd LeDuc, known for huge air, step up.
Checked up again.
Brake check for Todd LeDuc. He's not one that we usually see do that. He is usually full throttle.
LeDuc sleep. There's a little bit of some air right there. Todd was mentioning it earlier that everything out here is a flatland pretty much, and he wants to be careful and save the truck.
He's going early for the Monster Energy backflip ramp. Here comes Todd LeDuc, and he is gonna land it the bounce. So the first successful backflip of the night.
Perfect execution of a flip right there. Now we should see Todd start airing her out and going big.
So the question is, Ryan Anderson didn't land his flip. He landed it awkwardly, then saved it, then didn't save it. Todd LeDuc does land it. There's a sky wheelie. So will that be enough for the Houston fans to give Todd LeDuc the lead?
Awesome driving for Todd LeDuc.
9.376, and our new leader is Todd LeDuc in Bkt Freestyle.
Yeah, Todd was not his normal self in the beginning of the run, but then he comes in the backflip. Nice transition. Great execution. Could have rode a little bit of a wheelie there at the end.
Come on, buddy. Go, go, go. Nice, nice, nice. Nice job. Dude, I'm proud of you. That backflip was perfect.
Here comes Tom Mentz, Max D Fire, the 12-time World Finals champion. He's got one freestyle win back in round 3.
Loving the momentum from Tom out of the box. Moving to the inside pretty quick.
NRG Stadium, the birthplace of maximum destruction. Back then it was called Reliance Stadium, but Tom Mentz feeling that race, that step-up ramp there, just feeling it, getting the air, getting the launch across that ramp now twice.
So you see Tom's truck bounce quite a bit when he takes those big jumps. It's because Tom runs what we call coil springs. All these other trucks just run on nitrogen-charged shocks. Tom has both. He has nitrogen-charged shocks and coil springs around the rear shocks as well. So that actually makes the truck bounce a little bit more than usual.
Coming back around now the right side pod. Tom Meents squaring it up the best he can.
Right into the jammer. Nice.
Climbing over it like it's nothing.
Like a bulldozer, driving that front end into it.
Slowing down his momentum just a little bit, but picks it right back up, clears the pod. And now up on two wheels, a cyclone there for a minute. And listen to the revolutions. He got it back. Tom Meents, the big air from a 12-time world champion.
Watch the replay here. Goes out there just clearing everything right out of the box. Big air, lots of throttle, good rhythm, nice speed. Right into the combo move to a downside. Great job by Tom Meents.
Let's take a look at the Bkt Freestyle top 5. After this competition, Todd LeDuc finishing in first to walk away with his second freestyle win of the season. Ryan Anderson in Bakugan Dragonoid, he will finish in second. Tom Meents and Max D Fire getting third. Adam Anderson in Megalodon, he gets fourth. And Jamie Garner in Overboard, he gets fifth, rounding out your Bkt Freestyle top 5. Standing by with our freestyle winner, let's head down to Leslie Mears and Todd LeDuc.
And the cherry on top of that freestyle run, Todd, was your backflip. And no one's been able to do it that well so far. So what was your approach and how were you able to perfect it?
No, that was unbelievable. I saw Barry try the mini flip, which I've been successful on all week long and all series long. But Ryan did the exact same side that I wanted to try in the backflip ramp with the Monster Energy backflip ramp, and it just didn't look quite right. So I went to the other side. I went up to that approach so slowly, wrapped the throttle a little bit harder to get the speed around. I applied the brake, but it was just a little bit too soon. It bounced on those front tires, those Bkt tires. I sat there for a second, had my hand on reverse, came down, and then from there we just lit the fuse, and we got that win. Unbelievable. First person to win 2 freestyles this year. It's awesome.
Let's take a look at our final Bkt overall point standings. Ryan Anderson's going to win it with 32 points. Adam Anderson with 30. Todd LeDuc 28. Tom Meents 23. And Corey Rummel with 23, rounding out our final Bkt top 5. Standing by with our now 2-time overall event champion, Leslie Mears and Ryan Anderson.
Ryan, your familiarity with this track gave you a little bit of extra confidence. So how does it feel to add your name to the list of overall event champions?
Without a doubt, it felt good to go on this track. It's one of my favorites. Chicago-style racing is always high intensity, and the freestyle layout is really good for me. I enjoy it a lot, but behind the scenes, Ryan Riddell here has that truck dialed in. I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. It's definitely not my son of a digger, but it's a blast. It's all over the place. It's crazy. Inside, I'm just trying to drive this thing, keep a wrangle on this Dragonoid, but we still got more to go. This is just early on in the season, so I got to keep going like this, or else I'm going to be left in the dust, and I'm not letting that happen this time. I'm going to wrangle this Dragonoid all year, especially with him behind my back.
As much fun as the first 5 rounds have brought, the last 2 rounds here at NRG are going to be action-packed, so stay tuned. You can find us on social media at Monster Jam. Use the hashtag Monster Jam. Tweet us, find us on Instagram, Facebook. Tell us how you thought tonight's event was, or visit our YouTube channel. For Colt Stevens and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. Good night from NRG Stadium. We'll see you at the next Monster Jam.